Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. You become better for not only you, but the people you love and care about most. You gotta be a little uncomfortable and take that leap of faith. You're in control of the process. I'm here with you. If we don't continue to grow, if we don't continue to move on, we will be sad and upset. We have a fun episode, and we're actually going to be talking about Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, one of the most successful, one could say, writers, producers, actors through the Hollywood scene. A lot of people tend to love his show Seinfeld, which aired from, I think, like 89 to 99, but they've been dominating reruns. And it turns out that stuff still makes a ton of money for good old Jerry Seinfeld. He's had tons of success. It seems like he's lived a pretty happy and fulfilling life. He had this one principle. I wanted to tell a story about Jerry Seinfeld. I read in this, I was talking with a friend, and then they had referenced this article that they were showing me, and it was a story about Jerry Seinfeld. It was a story about how he had this habit in order to achieve his success. Sorry, 1 second. I think we have a guest intruder coming in on the episode. Cleo. Say good morning, Cleo. Say hello. Cleo wanted to stop by and say what's up. Yeah, talking about Jerry and Jerry Seinfeld, this habit is essentially what it is you pick what it is that you know you need to do, and then you set a time to do it, and then you either do it or you do nothing. And you're like, okay, that's it. That's all you got to do. And it turns out I've been trying this and it's been working. It seems so simple and so stupid, but it totally works. And I wanted to come on here today and I wanted to share it with you guys so I was listening to this podcast and they were referencing these articles, and Jerry Seinfeld had come up and he had this knack for writing. He had a knack for writing, and he wrote, him and Larry David, I believe his name is, him and Larry David. Larry David, he's really known comedian, Curb Your Enthusiasm show pretty well, that still continues to do super well. Jerry and Larry wrote that. Well, Jerry and Larry owned the rights to the show. It turns out that's absolutely huge for a business move, and in the comedy scene, pretty unheard of at the time. So they did incredible work with that. And when it came to the writing process, so I've been struggling with writing. I think it's really hard to do consistently. It's essentially writing content for this, or writing for the book, or prospecting, making sales calls to people, reaching out to new possible clients. All of that stuff can be pretty tough for me here and there, now and again. And I started adopting Jerry Seinfeld's method about a week ago, and I've been having great success. And essentially the habit is this: we are going to pick one thing that it is that we want to do. Maybe you want to exercise. Maybe you want to, whatever it is, a task that you know you want and you need to do. Maybe you want to create a website for a business idea that you have and you want to implement. Whatever the idea is, you pick the time of day when you are willing to do this, that you are free to do this. And then you either do the task or you do nothing. You do the task or do nothing. Literally nothing. You just sit there and do not do anything else. You're not allowed to do anything else in that time frame. And I've found this to work. This seems so simple, but I've found this to be really helpful. I went to go sit to write the other day. I'm working on these new exercises that I'm getting turned into PDFs that you can fill out and stuff like that so I can sell documents for coaching clients and have another product to sell on my product line for my coaching business. And I was feeling a lot of resistance with writing and sitting down. And then I started adopting this. I was like, okay, from 11 to 1 on this day of the week, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to either write this content, I'm going to edit this text, I'm going to improve the quality of this product, or I'm going to literally do nothing. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to be present in the moment. And this is so powerful because it either gets you to take action on it, it gets you to show you that that's actually what you want to do, is you want to do something. And it shows us that we tend to just be super distracted by a bunch of random bullcrap that isn't a priority in our lives. And they're usually coping mechanisms. They're coping mechanisms. For me, I would cope whether I would go and work out. Now, working out's a great thing, but I would do it just to feel good about not doing what it is I know I really wanted to do. Or with reading, I would do this all the time with reading. I've already had all the information I need to help grow and build up a better and bigger business, but I would just go read, even though I knew what to do next, to try and go learn more information to feel better about not doing what it is that I know I needed to do, because I had a lot of feelings and emotions. So this is one thing that's definitely going to come up when you start to feel resistance. And it's okay if you do nothing, just sit there, but you're not allowed to do something else. And when you start feeling a little bit of anxiety, some resistance, I'd always get this feeling in my chest, and this tightness feeling in my chest. We talked about like childhood traumas, and we talked about how I kind of had this feeling start when I was like a 13-year-old kid. Believe me, everyone has some type of feeling like this. And I'd feel on my chest, and then I'd like want to run away, and then I'd go do something else I'd be a lot more comfortable with. When this feeling comes up, when you're sitting there and you want to do what you really want to do, when you have it in front of you, and then you still want to pull away, you have some bullshit excuse of, oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to go clean that. Oh, no, that can wait. And use this as an opportunity to open up, peel the layers back to the onion, and kind of feel what's going on and get a little investigative. It's either we're going to realize like, wow, this is actually not that hard. This is really fun. And it was only scary because I just didn't know. Or we're going to run into a wall and start feeling a feeling of, and figure out why it is we're so hesitant on giving ourselves permission to actually succeed and do what it is that we want to do with our lives. It keeps coming up every time. I want to do this. I want to make more calls. I want to prospect with people. And then I sit down and then, I think of something else to do to protect myself. The protector within me, the saboteur saying like, oh, you don't have to do this right now. You can go do something else and still feel productive. You're fine. You're going to be okay. And this and that. And I'm tired of running away from stuff. Oh, I got some cat hair on me. Thanks, Cleo. I'm tired of feeling like I need to run away. I'm tired of saying I want to do something and not do it. I don't know. Are you tired of that feeling? Is there certain things that are a true number one priority? Do you have a number one priority? What is your number one priority? What is your number one goal? And if you can't answer that question, then spend the time to figure out what it is your number one goal is. What is the number one goal? My personal number one goal is getting our coaching company to a certain volume, and that means a ton to me. And so taking the actions first in the morning on what is going to realistically get that going into that mark. And for me right now, that is writing, that is prospecting. Those two pieces. And I always feel a ton of resistance towards this because I know deep down that if I do this, this is what's going to get me to that next challenge, that's going to get me to evolve and grow. I'm going to feel some pain along the way. I'm going to get rejected a few times and all that kind of good stuff. But if I'm just staying on it and I stay in front of it and I do this, the Jerry Seinfeld method of he's either writing the content for the show or he is just sitting in a chair doing nothing. And a couple more things on this that I personally discovered. You'll have to try it out for yourself. See what feelings come out. See what excuses start to creep in. It's amazing. They're like, "Oh, well, I didn't text this person back." And you haven't talked to them in like 3 months. It's like, that's a bullshit excuse. Or, "Oh, no, I said I was going to clean the dishes and I was going to do the dishes." Well, the dishes will be there after you do your 30 minutes of outreach. I promise the dishes will not run away, or whatever it is that was coming up. These are just some personal examples and excuses I was using. And when you're sitting there and you're not doing anything, you really start to feel and understand like how overcomplicated we tend to make things as humans. Isn't that wild that there will be something so obvious in front of us that we want so bad logically, but emotionally we're so screwed up and that we want to run from it, and we're scared of the pain. We have a lot of fear, so we run away from it. This is the opportunity for us to put our foot down, start saying no to the things that are not our priorities, to the things that are not in alignment with our goals, and start saying yes to sitting down and working on that most important task that you know that you've been putting off. Maybe that is exercise for you. Maybe it is prospecting for you, like it is for me. Maybe it is writing, or writing more content, or writing for a book like I struggle with. Whatever it is your vice is, this is the window of opportunity to sit down and lean into this shit and figure out what is actually going on. Because if you actually wanted to do it and you weren't emotionally jacked up from something in the past, you would just do it. Think about all the things that you've done. If you really wanted to do it and you weren't jacked up emotionally about it, you just did it. The basics will get you to succeed. It's just they're the basics, and they're kind of boring. They can be boring at first, or they can appear boring. And then, like anything, you dive into it, you go a little deeper, and then if it gets better and you feel better about it. It's like, oh, wow, holy crap, I feel better already. Just by name one thing that you wanted to do, you had resistance towards, you finally do it and get it done. And then you don't get this huge sigh of relief. It's like, what is life all about? Is it those feelings of accomplishment? Is it the feeling of avoiding and indulging in something that I don't give a shit about? I would argue no. Like, I don't want that. And it's so wild that it's so easy to do this, to run away, to find coping mechanisms, to have the fear come in, to override our abilities to just act on what it is that we truly want to act on. So this is what I'm saying. Whether you're editing videos, you are writing a book, you are making sales calls, you need to go and exercise, set the time aside to do this week. But I wanted to come on here this morning because Jerry Seinfeld, he did this with writing, and some days he wouldn't write anything and he would just sit there and think. Some days he would write out the best episodes Seinfeld had to offer, and it turned his life into mega riches, huge philanthropic opportunities, getting these massive car collections. It's like, what could this type of discipline do for you? It's hard to say what it'll do for me, but I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to keep trying, and we're shooting for the stars here, baby. So this was episode 282, a story about Jerry Seinfeld. Do your task. Do what you say you're going to do, or do nothing at all and just kind of sit there and be in the present moment. Either or, you're winning, because all life really is that present moment stuff, right? Am I right? So cheers all. I hope you all have an incredible, fun-filled Thursday. Take advantage of today. Enjoy yourselves. Get some stuff done, and maybe you sit down for 10 minutes, maybe an hour, something. You block off that time, and you get going on that number one goal. Thanks for checking out our content. If you want to learn more about investing in yourselves and working with me and our company personally, we offer a 6-week Total Life Mastery Bootcamp, where we go over the most important topics to make sure that our life has the foundation we need to catapult us forward, to take the right and proper actions, to become happier and more productive, guaranteed, or our money back.